What's going on, everybody? It's Tommy with Heal2Feel, and I'm coming at you with the first installment of the Heal2Feel podcast. I just feel so many emotions right now in regards to just being in front of you all. I don't count it as robbery to stand before you or be before you in a real way and just letting you guys know what Heal2Feel is, the brand, the the meaning behind it, and just what it means to me to pursue healing for myself and for everyone that can come to my channel and learn and grow. With this being the first installment of Heal2Feel, I want to introduce what it is and what it means to me, and even share my own personal story of my journey from healing to feeling. And pretty much Heal2Feel is an organization that promotes uh, positive mental health in everyone, but specifically in men, so that we can become better men for ourselves, our community, our family. And that's done through group meetings and community involvement. This podcast episode and many more are going to be a part of the healing process for not only myself again and everyone that I bring before you, and everyone that's ever going to be involved. So I thank you so much for just listening and tuning in and being a part of the very first Heal2Feel podcast episode. Um, my journey with just mental health, with it being Mental Health Awareness Month, has been something that's been a challenge. It's been a challenge, but it's also been a challenge that I accepted. I have a 7-year-old son, and I understand what it means to be at my best, what it means to be at my best, not only for myself, but for my son. Me and my son have a very close bond, and I don't believe I would be on this journey if it weren't for him. He's one of the reasons why I'm choosing to pursue my purpose and do the things that I'm meant to do on this world, on this side of the plane. And a part of that is just being honest with myself and where I was in my relationship with self, with self, and not being afraid of exposing myself to myself first and foremost, but also to those that are around me and those who look to me as a an example of what a father is, what a man is, and those things are what kind of drives me and motivates me to continue to pursue and to be in pursuit of this purpose of Heal2Feel. Uh, I believe, well, I know my journey started, or my my breakdown happened as a child. I've realized that, and I've come to terms with that. And as a child growing up, I was raised in a very, very strict, almost cult-like um, church setting. If anybody knows anything about the apostolic faith, you will understand where I'm coming from with this. Uh, there were many things we weren't permitted to do. Some things, or even most things even, were out of just tradition. There was none or little to none scripture that backed some of the things that we followed. And if it were backed, it would be kind of twisted to the liking of said organization or said religion. And in that, it never gave me the opportunity to ask questions in regards to anything, really, anything at all. Uh, it was as if you do as I say, not as I do. And that is a very dangerous game to play because people are watching and not everyone is going to receive what's being given to them. Imagine, imagine somebody putting a plate of food in front of you that you don't like and they tell you to eat it. Not even asking if you would like it or not, or what would you like to have, or how would you even like to be served if you were given the opportunity to even try it. So in that, it went into my my personal life even, where even in school, I didn't ask questions on the things I didn't understand, and that played a part into me not giving my best effort sometimes, or just excusing education as a whole. Um, and that's something that I've had to live with into my adult years. A lot of times we're just kids. We're just kids in adult bodies a lot of times. Um, and also in my childhood, and even into my adulthood, and we're going to get to that. Um, Looking for validation from other people, not having a strong sense of self, or being given a opportunity to grow myself in a real way, and to become my own even. I'm gonna have an older brother. I have an older brother, and my whole a vast portion of my life, even in going to college, I was seen as Gerard's little brother, and that bothered me. That bothered me a lot because I didn't feel seen. And in that, I lost my own. I didn't pursue myself in a real. I didn't stand up for myself. I didn't stand up for myself, and that's a dangerous game to play. Not standing up for yourself, because who's going to stand up for you if you don't stand up for yourself? Who's going to speak up for yourself if you don't speak up for yourself? I didn't have the courage. I didn't have the courage or the confidence to speak up for myself. And that led to me following in my brother's footsteps. And that's not to say my brother is a bad person, or my brother is a wonderful person. I love my brother with everything in me. But the truth is just the truth. I pursued those things. I was even told, you better do what your brother did, because I don't know what else you're going to do. That's one thing I remember growing up, that I was told. You better do what your brother did. And I succumbed to that. I succumbed to pursuing those things that my brother did. I pledged the same organization as my brother. I became a drum major in college, like my brother. And it didn't matter at the time, it didn't matter at what cost. I didn't realize the cost that it was gonna cost me. I didn't know the cost it was gonna cost. And that's just me being honest. I didn't know the cost that it was gonna cost for me to pursue those things and not even being ready for those things in my life at the time. And when I finally broke away from that, I was looking for something to fill that void. After I escaped from being Gerard's little brother, I was looking for something to fill that void. So I started doing things that I was not aligned with. I was not aligned with at all. And in that, you lose yourself. It's like you missing your stop on the bus but staying on it instead of getting off on the next stop. You just kept going further and further away from your true destination. And along that way, you meet people and you experience things and you create habits that just steer you in a completely different direction. And the things that you believe are for you, they're never for you. But without having that strong sense of self, you never realize it. And when you realize it, it's far too late. It's far too late. And that's what happened. That's what happened. By the time that I realized that I was at the wrong stop, I never got off at my stop. It was far too late. I was selling drugs, participating in drugs, um, been to jail, um, just operating outside of myself in pursuit of myself or thinking to myself, this is what I have to do in order to survive. And that wasn't the case at all. That wasn't the case at all. So there were a lot of lessons that I really didn't have to learn. Or if I did have to learn, I didn't have to learn the way that I did. I didn't have to learn those lessons the way that I did. And by the time I was on some kind of course correction, my support system, it was really no more. And again, that's due to pride. Pride will do it every time. When you're too prideful and acknowledging your shortcomings or having an arrogance even, um, you're doomed. You're doomed. You're doomed. I'm telling you, you're doomed. So, and a part of that came from just becoming a drum major. A part of that was becoming a member of a fraternity, and the glitz and glamour that came along with it. It was too much. It was too much for someone who was malnourished in his mind and in his self, and even in some ways his physical. because there were things that I did physically that wasn't acceptable when I look back on it. It definitely wasn't acceptable. It wasn't needed for me to be authentic or authenticated. I didn't have to do those things to be authenticated. But again, insecure, unaware, young and dumb, where the boys down to, young and dumb. It caused me to um, have an arrogance about myself, not believing that those same people that would scream my name on Saturdays would not be around when I lost it all. They weren't around when I lost it all. And I never thought that that would actually be a thing for me. I was the last freshman to be selected as a drum major, and the last freshman to be selected into my fraternity. And both of those things had me surrounded by individuals way older than me. I was 19 years old, going to parties, drinking on end. In other words, just having my way, and being irresponsible along the way. Um, so that was another thing that caused me to miss my stop. I didn't get off at that stop. And from there, I was just going to and fro. I didn't have a direction for my life. I was just having fun, not realizing again the cost of having fun. The cost is great to have fun. And although church taught me a lot, being a bandsman taught me a lot. The other things that came along with it, I was ill prepared for. And again, just having that pride and arrogance in the things that didn't really matter. I wouldn't say I took it for granted. Certainly didn't take it for granted, but I also didn't operate within my fullest capacity in it. I was presenting myself to be something that I really wasn't. And even I remember in my childhood, like just wanting to feel validated, and in that and seeking validation, I became a people pleaser. I didn't know how to say no. I did not know how to say no. And that's a dangerous game to play with yourself, because you really play yourself when you're not able to say no. The burnout, the fatigue, the being let down, thinking that because I do it for them, they would do it for me. That's definitely not the case. Definitely not the case. And realizing that really opened up my eyes in a real way to what it means to love yourself. I didn't love myself. I'm I'm 33 years old. I'll be 34 next month. And it's about, I would say, fairly recently, the past 2-3 years, I've I've gotten, or I have accepted that I didn't love myself. I didn't love myself the way I should have, and that was probably the main reason why things happened the way it happened. I didn't love myself. I can't blame anybody else. I can't blame anybody else. I couldn't blame the church. I couldn't blame my mom, my dad, my brother. I couldn't blame band. I couldn't blame the fraternity. I had to blame me. And even in that, in regards to relationships and the things that I allowed, the things that I put myself through, and the things that I tolerated, also let me know I didn't love myself. Um, and that's probably the most recent thing that showed me I didn't love myself the way I said I did, or showed me that I was presenting myself to be something that I wasn't. And being uh, at least 30 years old, 31 years old, and realizing that, man, I don't love myself. That's a hard pill to swallow. And it's almost as if you want to deny that even. But looking back now, I didn't love myself. I didn't love myself. There were things that, again, were tolerated, and things that were said to me in my last relationship that I dare wouldn't allow now. I dare wouldn't allow now. Um, and again, that's no blame to her. That's no blame to my son's mom. I can't hold any blame to her. She was only a mirror. She was only a mirror that was put in front of me. So in many ways, I appreciate her. Or in that way, I appreciate her for showing me a mirror of myself and allowing me to see the amount of tormenting I would put myself through just for the sake of saying or for the sake of someone saying that I love you, and never showing it the way that I needed to I needed it to be shown to me. Um, that whole ordeal was a long process, man. It was a long process, and there were things that were promised to me from her that I never got, but she was willing to give it to someone else. She triangulated uh, the situation and or relationship. She took from me, and I'm not just saying monetarily, just she took from me. I allowed her to drain me of my energy and my essence as a person, as a man, as a human, for the sake of just having someone in my life to say that I have them, or because we share a child together that we should be together. You can't be with somebody who ain't want to be with you. And there will be signs of them not wanting to be with you, but you have to pay attention to those signs. Um, when the goalpost is always being moved and it still not being enough, that's a sign. When your emotions get uh twisted and turned in any and every direction that they so choose, that's a sign. When they become distant and claim that they're so busy, that's a sign. You're never too busy for someone you say you love or you say you care about. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. Um, and being triangulated in a situation and a relationship is never, it's never a a good thing, because in the end, you'll always be getting the short end of the stick because they're giving themselves to someone else. And oftentimes, the energy that they're receiving from you, they're going to take that to the next person. Um, so that played a part into me realizing how much I allowed and how much I didn't love myself, and didn't really have a real understanding or grasp on what love is. And it's different to actually say what love is, but the action of it, totally different thing. Totally different thing. Oftentimes I say people don't say how much they love you, and people don't say how much they care about you. They show you. And if you don't feel that, or if you don't see that, it's not love. It's not care. And you have to take it upon yourself to choose you in a real way. And I would say within the past year, 2 years, I've chosen to love myself in a real way. I've taken the time out to re-meet myself and to pursue myself and the things that I desire and the things that bring me fulfillment, or puts that spark and that essence back into my life. And those things for me are reading, getting back in touch with nature, exercising, um, cooking. I've become a certified life coach in pursuance of the things that I desire. Never thought I would be a certified life coach. Um, I've started therapy. Therapy has been a great, 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 great. I can't stress it enough. It's been a great help. It's been a great help. It's something I look forward to on a weekly basis. And I would say one of the main things is sacrificing those things that I desire, or my flesh desires, and challenging myself to rid myself of the things that I picked up along the way. To get rid of those things that I've picked up along the way. And that has also been a great, great help for me. And that's not to even say that I'm I was perfect along the way. I did everything right. There are still times where I dishonored myself along this healing journey. But one thing that I also realized, that I'm not the things that I do. I'm not the things that happen to me. I'm not who people say that I am. I'm much more. I am what God says I am. I am is greater than who I was. Who I am now is greater than who I was. And I'm proud of myself for that. I applaud myself every day. I affirm myself every day in regards to how far I've come. And it doesn't matter how often I slip up or in a sense lose direction. I wouldn't even say lose direction. In the times that I am human and or being prone to my flesh, I show myself grace and realizing that this thing is not a linear thing. Being in pursuit of better is not a linear thing. It's about the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs. You have to go with the ups and downs. You can't resist the ups and downs. Resisting the ups and downs is when you flatline. When you resist the ups and downs is when you flatline. And when you flatline, you're not available to anyone, especially yourself. You're not available. So I'm going to just close by saying how important it is to choose yourself. It's so important to choose yourself. It's so important for you to know yourself. It's so important for you to speak up for yourself. It's so important for you to have a strong mind. A strong mind. And not even a strong mind, is even more so a renewed mind. That's one thing that I ask God for every day, is just a renewal of my mind. Because if I go off my feelings, I'm not going to ever, I may not ever get those things that are for me if I go off my feelings. Even in this right here, I haven't been in pursuit, of what it is that's before me right here, right now, what I'm pregnant with. I haven't been in proper pursuit. I haven't been feeding and nourishing and nurturing what I have inside of me in the proper way, I feel like. So I have to be more intentional. I have to be more selfish. I have to be more aware of where my energy goes and what it means to be in pursuit and not and have tunnel vision and laser focus and not fall back into the people pleasing and being more to others than I am to myself. I have to be in full awareness of that. And I have to live in reality. I can't fantasize about how I would want things to be or how things should be. The best thing for me to do is to live in reality. That's where the truth is. And if I am in pursuit of the truth, I must be in constant pursuit and reality and in the present moment of what is, what the truth is. So again, y'all, man, I appreciate y'all so much for listening, being attentive, being accepting of this moment right here, of me presenting clarity and authenticity. And it's much more. It's much more that's involved in my journey. Those are just small things that, well, not even small things. Those are major things that I believe happened in my life for me to be on the Heal to Feel path that I'm on. And I'm going to encourage y'all to pursue healing yourself. And it's up to nobody but you to say what that is. Don't allow yourself to be performative or to look for validity from other people, because they're not going to give it to you the way that you're going to give it to you. You don't look for anybody else to heal you other than God and yourself. That's a key point as well. God and yourself is what heals you. And when he does those works, and when he does his work in you, that's when it comes out. That's when it all comes out. So y'all, if you can go to the Heal to Feel channel on YouTube, I greatly appreciate it. I'll be posting this on all platforms. Again, y'all, my name is Tommy. Peace.